We got a lot of stuff to get to, but we've got we got two teams that are going to play in the Super Bowl.
Yes, we do.
We do know this, right? And we know that all the preparations are taking place, and the team's getting set. They obviously want to bring their best foot forward and come back victorious. But the big question that the world is asking is,
God, yes.
How will Taylor Swift ever make it from Japan to the game? I know. I have how she'll do it.
I
know.
It's not even close.
What do you mean?
It's not even like she's going to be, cutting it close to take kickoff. She'll be fine.
Oh, yeah, she could get there in the morning.
Yeah.
She'll be there by morning.
Yeah.
This says she won't get there till 6 p.m.
Okay, the one that I saw
On
said that she
Saturday.
could get there. She could get there in the morning. And that she would have plenty of time to sleep.
Christ.
Wait, she'd have plenty of time to take a nap, sleep, get some rest in, and then go to the game.
Yes.
She's also not flying coach. This 13-hour flight will be on a private jet.
Of course.
On one of her two that she owns.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I got all the
Really-
details.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to hear
I
it
got,
all
I got
then,
the
yeah.
full
Sorry,
rundown here
Preston,
for you
I got
guys.
so excited. I'm sorry.
I know, it's okay. So she is scheduled to wrap up the last of 4 performances at the Tokyo Dome Saturday, February 10th, the night before the Super Bowl kicks off in Vegas at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 Pacific Time. Experts say, can she make it? Theoretically, yes, and it won't take a time machine, just a private jet, and luckily she has 2 of them. Kevin O'Leary, the president and CEO of Jet Advisors, says this is a typical international flight, and the turnaround is not very tight. Swift's show is scheduled to open at 6 p.m. local time and generally runs about 3 hours and 15 minutes. O'Leary predicts a punctual start. He says Swift could feasibly fly out of either Tokyo's main airports, Haneda, which is roughly a 30-minute drive from the Tokyo Dome but requires special permission, and Narita, which is about an hour's drive. He said there will be some logistics and clearances before the flight will be allowed to depart. He said with either airport, the flight should be able to depart Japan within 2 hours of the end of the concert. Now, that puts her potential departure time around 11:30 Saturday night local time or 6:30 Saturday morning Vegas time. So she would be leaving at 6:30 a.m.
morning.
That's how,
Vegas time.
that's how it
Okay,
breaks
So
down.
she's not going to get there with a whole lot of time to spare.
okay.
A little bit of time to
And
spare.
my guess is she will get that special clearance for a closer airport.
And she
I
can,
think she'll get a military escort
Yeah.
in the air to the edge of Japanese airspace, and then when they leave, each responding country that she flies over, their military will join up for an
And
escort as well.
Aquaman will lead a sea of dolphins
that's
across. Yeah.
I just don't want her to be tired for the game. So, but I guess it's a private jet. She'll be able to sleep on it.
Kathy, fortunately,
1 of 2 private
yeah,
jets.
fortunately, the one she's going to take has berthing seats for 4 or 5 passengers, so the
perfect.
passengers can lie flat,
And give birth.
And she can have a baby if
and
she
she
wanted.
can have a baby on the way.
Travis, I made this for you.
So the calculations assume that Taylor will be flying in her Dassault Falcon 7X,
Okay.
which has a slightly longer range than her Dassault Falcon 900. The jet should be able to fly the 4,821 nautical miles to Harry Reid International Airport in 10 to 12 hours.
And did you see
longer
there
range, okay.
currently exists, globally speaking, a trade wind that would favor air travel?
Of
I mean,
course.
they've calculated
Oh, are you
everything.
serious?
Yes, that because sometimes when you travel and you have the wind to your
of
back,
course.
you're gonna do better time.
So,
they're
Steve, you're
saying that's
saying
quite likely.
God wants her to be at
God
the game.
wants her to
Yes,
be
of
there.
course, Right.
All the powers in the universe.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Me-
not.
and
Me
Aquaman.
and God.
Well, this is going to be such a focus on Super Bowl.
Listen.
Day.
I can't. I think I'm a little bit more excited about this Super Bowl than I was last year.
Because
Really?
of Tay-Tay?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yes, but no. I was telling Nick yesterday. I called my cousin, and she just answers the phone. She goes, "Hello." I go, "Should we try to get tickets to the Super Bowl?" She goes, "Yes, we should. Do you think we can do it?"
Yeah, you'd go. Yeah, you're going to drop your $5,000 for a seat.
This is the Super Bowl we want to go to.
Yeah.
There are always possible complications from weather disruptions to the expected challenge of securing a landing slot at the airport due to enhanced safety procedures in anticipation of high traffic that weekend.
Oh, she'll be fine.
But if all goes to plan, Swift would arrive in Vegas sometime between 4:30 and 6:30 p.m.
Should be fine.
Pacific time.
So this obviously, and I think you have it over there, Preston, has made this clip from West Wing become a viral
Casey, can
sensation.
you cue that up? So this is her team calculating how she can make it there.
All right, first things first. What time is it in Tokyo? They're 14 hours ahead. I thought it was 13. Eastern Daylight. So it's 14 hours ahead? Yes. We're sure it's ahead and not behind?
Guys, their clock's on the wall.
Okay, so it's almost 11 o'clock in Tokyo.
Yes.
I'm sorry, 11 in the morning, 11 in the afternoon.
It's 11 a.m.
We bought it then.
We bought 2 days.
Huh?
Plane ride?
When does he leave?
7 p.m. Thursday.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Local time?
Which local? Theirs or ours?
It will be 7 p.m. Thursday in Japan when he leaves. And he lands here when?
Okay, the flight is 13 hours long.
This isn't happening.
He's going to travel eastward from Tokyo, leaving at 7 p.m., so when he crosses the international date line,
He'll have traveled back in time to what?
3 a.m.
Which puts him down in Washington 6 p.m. Thursday.
He's gonna land in Washington an hour before he took off?
Yeah.
Call Tokyo.
Yeah.
There you go.
That makes sense.
That's how they're going to handle it. So,
All she needs to do is travel back in time.
yeah, I wonder if they'll do like a live feed of her airplane.
I will guarantee
Somebody will do
somebody
something.
somewhere.
Probably going to parachute from the plane into the stadium.
Right.
Like Daniel Craig at the...
Yes, and then sing the national
Right,
anthem.
yeah.
Land at the
Boom.
microphone at the very moment that the orchestra starts to play the national anthem, then she could sing
If
it.
they really want to amp it for mileage, they'll have a Hail Mary pass thrown at the last second. She'll come down onto the field
And catch it. They signed her as a one-day
A
contract.
one-day contract.
I know you guys don't care, but the video of them celebrating in their suite after the Chiefs won, it's Jason Kelsey, it's his wife Kylie, it's what's Miles Teller's wife's name?
She's a model.
I know,
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
her name. She's in there, like all of them celebrating and then going down onto the field. I was watching. I'm like, I love it. I love
It's cool.
everything.
And then
about it.
outside, regular people were being executed.
Yeah.
No, come on, they were celebrating.
They
the
died
win.
gloriously.
I saw a headline the other day, and it was Travis Kelsey has a new nickname for Taylor. And I read this story, and apparently at the end of the game, she came over and he said, "Hey, sweetie," and that was it. That was enough to write a news story.
Well,
Hey, sweetie.
They again had lip readers and zoomed and bumped up the audio so much so they could hear their conversation. And he was like, I love you so much. She was like, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it's so wonderful. The most popular girl at school and her athlete boyfriend are all
the
happy,
dynamic
and
we all
it's
love.
gonna be the
cute.
greatest
They're
success
so
story in American
cute.
history. So she can make it there on time. So we'll see how that goes. According to Page 6, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck spent their quality time. I know what you're doing. With the actors.
I'd like to apologize to
Jennifer Garner.
and her pool boy, Ben Affleck, for incorporating them into my fantasy life.
So they were all-
I apologize to anyone who's been offended by my fictional creations, Chrysagon, the Philosopher of Evil, and the Skull Sealer.
So they were all together, Jennifer, Ben,
Skull Sealer.
and the Skull Sealer, and Jennifer. The three actors were photographed leaving a musical event at a school in Los Angeles together alongside their children. Garner walked out of the building with two of the children she shares with Ben, Serafina and Samuel, while he and Lopez followed close behind with the Marry Me actor's child, Emmy.
There seems to be like a good thing going on there. They
There
go
really
to
does.
social events together.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to be the best parents they can be.
Yep, that's encouraging. All right, so this is funny. On Monday's episode of the Today Show, James Corden, I recall the first time he met Bryan Cranston, and apparently Cranston thought that James Corden was a waiter when they first met. So he said it was a huge moment in his life. Corden said, my wife and I, she was my girlfriend at the time, we had gone to Los Angeles for the first time in our lives, and we spent the entire morning watching season 2 of Breaking Bad. And he said, I go for lunch, and who walks in the restaurant but Bryan Cranston? He said, to this day, I have never been as starstruck as I was in that moment. And he said that I went over and I said, Bryan, to which Cranston interrupted at that point because they were both in this interview. He said, and then I immediately said, can I have some more coffee, please? Corden confirmed the turn of events. He said, I've been watching the show this morning. He says to them, your performance is incredible. And then he turns to him and says, thank you. Can I get a Diet Coke with no ice? He thought he was a server coming over.
We've all had that. I know I've done that where I just totally misremember somebody or it happens.
It's terrible.
And you just want to die.
Yep.
I introduced myself to a guy that we work with. Because during the Christmas break, we had gotten an email saying, that people were onboarded and welcome this person to the company. And I see this guy, I go introduce myself, and then Eric Simon tells me, he's like, dude, that guy's been here for like a year. And I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I just said, welcome to the company.
Dude, there was a guy not long ago. I came over, I introduced myself to him. I forgot where, I can't even remember where it was. And he goes, yeah, I know you. We've played golf several times together. And I'm like,
no.
Was he incensed or was he?
he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
I could tell. And I'm just like, dude, I'm sorry.
Listen, you got to stop, not you, but just people in general, stop doing that to us. Like,
No,
it's all,
not
it's
to
all-
us.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
it's
No.
It's okay.
When I say us, I mean the entire human race.
Yeah.
If somebody forgets your name, it's okay. It's not an affront.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I've been hurt before by someone who I'm like, they know me. They definitely know me.
The other
And I
day
go
with
over and talk
Kathy.
to them, and they're like,
And you
can
are?
clearly know that and realize that they don't remember you at all.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, and it's but again, once we all realize it's something we all do, it's okay.
Yeah. All right. So Caitlyn Jenner has been reportedly axed from her son's reality show after she allegedly threatened it with legal action. The Keeping Up with
Engines to half speed.
the Keeping Up with the Kardashian star
Reject photon cannons. Coming into orbit around Earth.
had no idea that she was featured. She would feature in an episode of Brandon Jenner's show At Home with the Jenners,
Target Brentwood.
which streams on Unchained TV.
Oh, come on.
I know. Sources allege that Caitlyn wasn't happy after learning her son had been using her appearance in promotional material and ordered her lawyers to warn the show's production company to remove her from the final edit.
Well, I think you could pick up the phone and talk to your own son, right? Do you go through your legal channels?
Apparently, they don't have much of a
I
connection.
play hardball, sweetie.
Caitlyn reportedly threatened legal action over the fears of being seen on another network's program would compromise her Fox News job as an on-air contributor. After her lawyers approached the team behind At Home with the Jenners, she was swiftly scrubbed from all future appearances and was even edited out of the episodes that she was already shown in.
Wow.
Caitlyn had later addressed the claim, saying, I have never been more excited working for Fox News, reaching millions, especially in light of the presidential election and the Summer Olympics right around the corner. Reality TV has been in the rearview mirror for a while, and I wish my son nothing but the best for his cooking show. So it's apparently
It's a cooking show,
I guess.
Who knew? Who knew that, first off, that this channel existed?
Right.
That he had a show.
Yep.
All of this.
TMZ claimed she appeared in scenes of Home with the Jenners, including a family dinner scene, along with Real Housewives' David Foster. Brandon recently shared an update on his relationship with Caitlyn after previously writing in his 2020 memoir that he didn't see her more than, quote, half a dozen times between ages of 8 and 25.
That's her son. I mean, that's
right.
That, you know.
Yeah. So, but now though he says they have a great relationship, describing it
They
as
play ball and run around in the backyard.
better than it's
I can
ever
go
been.
seek. It's wonderful.
Brandon is the eldest of Linda Thompson and Caitlyn's two sons.
Marco Polo.
So,
No, you're just supposed to say Marco.
yeah, you don't
And
say
then I
both.
say-
Oh, I'm sorry. She's like,
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
over here. I'm clapping. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
So this was unfortunate, and I put it in celeb news because obviously this man was a big celebrity in the world. A statue of baseball legend Jackie Robinson, stolen from a Kansas park, was found dismantled and burned in a trash can.
What?
This was in a fire Tuesday morning in what authorities called a disgraceful act as the search for the perpetrators continued. The statue was taken from McAdams Park in Wichita. Last week, surveillance video captured individuals entering Jackie Robinson's pavilion around midnight on Thursday, removing the statue and placing it in a pickup truck. They cut off the statue at the ankles, leaving behind only Robinson's feet. Damage is estimated to be around $75,000. And then on Tuesday, a Wichita Fire Department responded to a report of a trash can fire at Garvey Park. After extinguishing the fire, they found what appeared to be pieces of the statue, which is not salvageable. The Wichita Fire Department is investigating the arson while police continue to investigate the theft. Police said Monday they have recovered the truck they believe that was used to haul it away. The Wichita Council member, Brandon Johnson, said this is a heartbreaking discovery. I hate to see that the statue was not in one piece. He said, but I do want everyone to know that we are undeterred and making sure that the statue gets rebuilt and put back there for our community, for League 42, for the young people, which is a nonprofit named after Robinson's number, obviously.
So the statue is like 1-to-1 scale, or was it?
Yeah, it appeared to be like just a regular life-size thing, but That's just terrible. Come on, man.
Didn't they at Penn when all that was going down?
Oh, Joe Paterno?
You're talking about Penn State.
Oh, Penn State?
Penn State, yeah.
Yeah, so they stole his glasses. I remember that. But that was before the whole controversy.
Okay.
Because Nick and I joked about, what if they stole these glasses and they're made out of metal, and would you wear like these 5-pound glasses on your face?
Yeah.
I don't think that statue's up anymore, though, Steve.
Yeah,
Okay.
they did take that statue down.
Okay. Left the feet.
But the Wichita Fire Department is investigating the arson while police continue to investigate the theft. So there is a funds being raised through a GoFundMe campaign. So I wanted to mention that, but that's just stupid for somebody to do that. All right, this is pretty wild, and I could have put this in music news, but Universal Music Group, the world's largest music company, says it would stop licensing content to TikTok if the firm fails to reach a new contract with the social media app to pay its musicians, which include people like Taylor Swift and Drake, some of the biggest musicians in the world.
Right.
Most popular musicians. The current contract is set to expire today, and no new agreement has been reached. The company alleged that TikTok proposed paying artists and songwriters, quote, at a rate that is a fraction of the rate that similarly situated major social platforms pay, and with a deal that is worth less than the previous deal. Universal represents some of the biggest superstars. We're talking not only Swift and Drake, but Olivia Rodrigo, The Weeknd, Eminem, just naming a few. They also represent emerging artists, a group that Universal said TikTok tried to leverage to reach a deal. Universal allegedly alleged that TikTok tried to intimidate the firm by selectively removing the music of some developing artists while keeping bigger artists on the platform.
Wasn't like Sleep Theory? We talked about them. Their hit got traction on TikTok.
Exactly. So while TikTok has gained outsized importance for the music industry in recent years as it fosters discovery, like you were saying, and virility, popularity in TikTok trends often translates to significant streaming numbers on services like Spotify and helps music climb the charts. But the actual revenue contribution from the company itself has been paltry, music executives say. In its letter to artists, Universal said TikTok contributes to about 1% of its revenue. And they said that TikTok is trying to build a music-based business without paying fair value for the music. If the deal lapses without new contracts in place, TikTok would be responsible for removing billions of videos from the service that contain music from Universal's recorded music and publishing catalog.
So like TikTok and the others, I think we've had sort of the song and dance with every social media site. So you've had you have this Twitter and Instagram.
And YouTube.
And YouTube getting flagged.
Yeah.
So if you want something, as we all have known, you get a couple seconds of any copyrighted music on YouTube, that video is not going up.
It happened with us yesterday on our stream because we were playing a whole bunch of music towards the end of the show. And we get in trouble with it. So Kyle has to cut the YouTube feed if we're going to play copyrighted music during our program, during when the talk breaks.
I always forget about that because there are some features that we like to do that play with songs.
Right.
And we're doing this for the radio, obviously, but we have another service as well through YouTube.
Yeah.
And that has to go bye-bye when we do that, So God bless radio.
This crap's still free.
Yeah, no kidding. So today, music companies have generally struck short-term licensing deals with TikTok with sorts of lump sum payments with the idea of negotiating toward a longer-term royalty-based licensing model. Universal said in its letter that it's focused on 3 issues in particular: appropriate compensation for artists and songwriters, protecting human artists from the negative effects of artificial intelligence, and online safety for TikTok users. So this could be a big
This
deal.
could be huge. My guess is they'll come to some sort of agreement because it's really a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, well, Marissa's not here, but when you're on Instagram or whatever, and they suggest or they want you to put attach music. You've had those, right? How do those songs that they're suggesting end up being the ones they're suggesting? In other words, is that a paid position? Does a record company or the artist say, can I boost this?
Gotta be.
Right?
Gotta be. And because, but then again, then you fall into payola stuff.
Right.
And I don't know, man.
And
I don't
some
know
songs
if that exists in that world or not.
You can get short clips of some songs, Steve, and
Right.
then longer clips of other songs. So if you want to add, if you're searching for a particular song, sometimes that song will exist within the Instagram feed if you want to attach it to a reel, but you might not get a very long clip of it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we'll keep on that.
We'll
and
fix
see.
it.
They have to come up with a solution today, though. It expires today, so we'll see how
After
this goes.
the show, let's talk. Let's see if we can figure this out.
Yeah.
This was sad to see. Broadway legend Chita Rivera died on Tuesday following a brief illness at the age of 91. She was apparently a superstar.
Oh, I love Chita Rivera.
In the world of Broadway. She starred
Yeah.
in musicals such as West Side Story, Chicago, and Kiss of the Spider Woman. She was nominated for several Tony Awards over the course of her career. She took home 2 of those, as well as a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018. She had roles in films such as Sweet Charity, Chicago, and Tick, Tick, Boom. Stars such as Catherine Zeta-Jones and Jason Alexander took to social media to honor her. Zeta-Jones had said, there are no words to tell you what an incredible impact you had on my life, from dreaming of being you as a little girl and then meeting you and then being deeply connected to you by playing the one and only Velma Kelly in Chicago. There will never, ever be anyone like you, Chita, ever.
She was also a really good dramatic actress. People don't talk about that a lot. She turned in some really incredible performances.
Was she in the diner scene in Tick, Tick, Boom?
Case I don't remember.
Okay.
They had a lot of legends in that movie that played these little cameo, quick, short roles. She probably was, but I'd have to go back and watch that again. So I thought this would be fun to pass along to you guys with the 49ers being in the Super Bowl. Here's a story about Joe Montana. He had an unparalleled intuition as a football player, and it looks like that intuition extends beyond the football field and into the world of legal marijuana.
Is he getting involved?
Oh, he's been.
Has
and is
he?
Way involved.
Did not know this.
Listen to this. Montana's investment in a tiny California cannabis startup 4 years ago has given him an ownership stake in what is now one of the biggest pot companies in the state.
Wow.
In 2019, Montana's venture capital firm, Liquid 2 Ventures, was an early investor in the weed startup called Nabis. N-A-B-I-S is how that's spelled, a cannabis distribution company founded by a pair of tech engineers. Today, it has quietly become one of the most successful pot companies in California, selling hundreds of millions of dollars of weed.
So what's it worth for him?
It is so dominant in California that it is now responsible for moving 22% of all weed products legally sold in the state. Montana's firm is a repeat investor in Nabis, increasing its stake in the company over time. Nabis has grown over 430% in the last 3 years. Jeez. So it began as a startup. The company's 2 co-founders are making deliveries themselves, and they launched. I mean, they were tiny, minuscule, but now it's become an integral part of the state's weed economy. Nabis is one of the rare success stories, actually, in California's legal weed market. So it's not just you just put your money into this legal marijuana and it's just going to take off. He happened to pick the right guys.
He picked the right one. And you know what's happening? The illegal weed mechanism kicked in tremendously as well. And they're providing competitive pricing.
There you go.
And that's what's happening.
There's an economic downturn right now in the weed market in California. Distribution companies have not been spared, and a few of them have gone completely away. But Montana founded Liquid 2 Ventures in 2015 and has since invested in 25 companies worth a combined $1 billion. Jeez. So he's a billionaire now, and weed has a lot to do with it.
I wonder what he's earned from that compared to what he earned with his playing years. What, is it more?
Oh, I bet,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he was he played at a time. I mean, listen, he made a lot of money for the time, but nothing what's going on today.
Yep. Let's see what time we got time for a couple more here. So how about this? Variety reports that Suits has broken a record previously held by The Office. Nielsen data found that throughout 2023, Suits totaled 57.7 billion minutes watched, making it the most watched series in a single year. The Office previously held that title with 57.1 billion minutes watched. So Suits has overtaken
I wonder
The Office.
how much, Preston, that picture, and Nick, you talked about it, that would present when Suits would pop up.
One hot lady in one episode.
Right. Exactly. And so if that incited, because the series is like, people like it and say it's good, but it's not.
I think it's a younger.
You think that's it?
A younger viewers watching it. Yeah. I mean, I think the 48-year-old men watching it are probably, as ratios are concerned, less than I think the younger pop.
Okay. But it's that's huge.
It's amazing.
That's a huge number. I had no idea. Lily Reinhart, the actress, is giving fans a glimpse of her treatment plan after being recently diagnosed with alopecia. The Riverdale star revealed the news in a Monday TikTok, telling followers that she was just diagnosed with alopecia in the midst of a major depressive episode.
Alopecia can kick in during depression.
Yeah.
And she's spectacularly beautiful.
The video sees her bathed in red light, which she explains in the caption, "Red light therapy is my new best friend." In the comment section of the video, fans sent her warm wishes while praising her honesty. According to the National Institute of Health, alopecia occurs when the immune system attacks hair follicles and causes hair loss, and the cause of the condition is unknown. It affects as many as 6.7 million people in the U.S. alone.
And it doesn't always come back.
Right, yeah. And as for the red light therapy, the treatment is known to stimulate hair growth and contribute to increased hair count, thickness, and density, but I don't know to what level it works.
Told you, you've seen them. They'll sell them in like sharper image catalogs, these caps that you put on.
They're so stupid looking.
It looks like something from a sci-fi movie.
Totally.
Yeah. But apparently the science behind it is correct.
Well, is it because they have those chemo caps now where women are not losing their hair?
Or like ice packs too that you wear. That's like an ice
Is it similar
hat.
to that?
No, this uses the infrared,
The red light therapy.
red light therapy. Yeah.
Okay.
Kathy, have you done the red light therapy yet?
I have, yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Could you tell anything specifically?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people probably get something out of it, and others possibly don't. But I've seen the booths. Pretty interesting, but
So the gym that I go to now, I told you guys I joined a new gym. They actually have those red lights in one of the workout rooms. So it's like you're getting whatever they say the benefits are of the red light therapy in the
while you're working out.
Yeah, yeah.
When it's done, can you read people's minds?
I can,
Oh, that's
and I
so
get
cool.
those villain superpowers.
Is it kind of weird being in that kind of bathed in that kind of red light while you're exercising?
No, it's kind of cool, Press. It's
Damn, I look good.
no, it's a heated room, so the red lights kind of go with the theme, and it's more like
sexy.
no, not sexy. I was waiting for him to do what he was gonna do.
Which finger will it be?
Oh my God.
No,
How about all of them?
The medicinal aspects, by the way, that red light therapy, like Dr. Rosenpenis is coming by with an attachment to this beamer device that I've talked about, which, you lay on this mat and it helps your blood flow through your capillaries. But there is.
Wait, what's the beamer device?
It is.
It's a mat. You just
it's
lay
a
on
mat.
it.
And so
that thing.
Is it heated?
No. It uses a high frequency or
Yeah, frequencies.
it uses magic to the best of my knowledge.
You
But
really can't even.
you can't even feel it, but it does increase the flow of blood to the capillaries.
Right. So the Press where I did the red light therapy was Orange Cryo in Conshohocken.
Yes.
They also have a beamer mat, so I tried that there as well. And yeah, you literally just lay on it. They have some like attachments where you can put on specific parts of your body if you have shoulder issues or whatever.
And whether it's psychosomatic or not, I've used it on my knee when it was sore, and it seemed to be better.
Okay.
However I get there,
Yeah, exactly.
I always trust Dr. Rosenpenis.
Yeah, if it works for you, use it. Absolutely. All right, and then one more thing, and then we'll move on. According to Deadline, married couple Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick are set to star in a film together for the first time in 2 decades. The pair will both hold roles in a film called Consensus by King of Queens creator Michael J. Wheathorn. The Footloose actor will play a security guard named Stan Olszewski, who stops a robbery at the home of Cynthia Rand, played by Kira Sedgwick. And from there, the pair start building a friendship that grows into something that, quote, shakes the foundation of both their lives.
Doesn't sound like a rom-com.
So they said in a statement, "We are so excited to work together on screen again for the first time in 20 years in such a funny, moving, and original script."
Oh,
so
maybe it is.
funny.
What was the last movie they worked on together?
They were in Cave Dweller and The Woodsman. I remember The Woodsman.
Depressing.
Yeah, he was a pedophile. In that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember Cave Dweller, but those were, I guess they were both in 2004.
He also directed her in this movie where, you have that movie where she's...
Loverboy.
Yeah, my God.
Kathy, one of your favorites.
Most depressing.
Oh, yeah, Loverboy.
She's in the car. She's run the hose around. She's got her son in the car, and
Yeah.
they're committing suicide.
That was.
Oh, boy.
That was like
hilarious.
of House and Sand.
House of Santa Fog.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever that.
They made that look like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, those were similar.
All right. We can roll the clips now. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. In this, the 12-year-old demigod is on a race to find Zeus's stolen thunderbolt to restore order to Olympus. And in this clip, Rick Riordan talks about creating the character. Here we go.
Percy started as a bedtime story for my son. He was struggling with dyslexia and ADHD, having a terrible time in school, but the one thing he did love was Greek mythology. So I started telling him stories from the Greek myths. When I ran out of the old stuff, I made up a new Greek hero.
Shut the f*** up!
So I guess he's the writer of Percy Jackson?
Yeah, or the showrunner.
Wow. Wow, if he said he created it, interesting. It's really good.
I know, I've heard good things about it.
It's really, really good.
It looks like they spent some money on it, too.
Yeah, they did. Season 1 of the Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the season 1 finale is streaming on Disney. It just came out last night, by the way. The season finale did. All right, here's the next clip. Choir is a 6-part docuseries that follows the kids of the Detroit Youth Choir as they prepare for the performance of a lifetime. And in this clip, choir director Anthony White talks about what inspires him to inspire the students.
When I was a young boy, I used to follow the Boys Choir of Harlem. And I remember the director, Dr. Turnbull, he said that he's able to teach a doorknob how to sing. I kind of feel the same way because we've taken people that came in without an ear for music and turned them into a scholarship graduate.
Yeah! All 6 episodes of Choir premiere today, and you can find that on Disney Plus, by the way. And there you go. That's your entertainment report for this morning. We had a lot to get to. All right, we still have a lot to get to through the course of today's program. There's a bunch going on. Number 1, we have a secret text word that's up and running. A chance for you to win tickets to see the Practical Jokers this summer at Ocean Casino Resort. We are going to go live on Fox Good Day. We are doing the Great American Smokeout this morning. So you're going to hear Dr. Rosenpenis stop by for a little bit and maybe give some suggestions about quitting smoking. And then he's going to take our group and he is going to do his magic on them. And hopefully they will never smoke again.
We have microphones in there. Yeah. So if anyone farts, we're going to hear it.
We will hear it. And then we have the great Tom Segura, who's going to be on the program around 9:30. And he's going to be at Hard Rock and AC on Friday. 2 shows, Friday at 8 and Saturday at 7 p.m. So we'll talk to Tom Segura as well. All right, and with that, let's take a break. But Casey, you want me to give some away?
Yeah, we got this movie screening next week. So.
All right, and we only have 2 passes left?
We got a couple more, just 2 on that page.
All right, I'll give away 2 right now. So this is for Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh, I've heard good things about this.
Monday, February 5th at 7 o'clock at the PFS East Theater. It's in Old City on 2nd Street, and we'll take callers 9 and 10. At 215-263-WMMR. You can go to WMMR.com, by the way, for another chance to win tickets. It's set in the 1980s and is a comedic horror story with 2 teenagers who embark on a journey to find love. And will be in theaters nationwide on Friday, February 9th. So we'll take those callers 9 and 10. 215-263-WMMR is the number. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we'll keep it rolling here on this Wednesday morning. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. A little while ago in the entertainment report, we were at the beginning of that, we had a nice little conversation about whether or not Taylor Swift is going to be able to make it to the Super Bowl in time because she's in Japan and has to fly all the way to Vegas in order to be there. And she can do it because she has a choice of one of her 2 private jets that she owns.
One of 2 private jets.
I'm assuming she outright owns those. I don't know because sometimes you have
lease.
Like partnerships or you lease or you go in on it with somebody. But anyhow, believe it or not, this is the thing. People are concerned whether she'll make it or not. But it got us on the conversation, and we're gonna have Tom Segura on later on this morning. Apparently, he had a lengthy conversation with Bert Kreischer recently about flying private. So we'll have to ask him about that whole experience as well. But I would love to go on a private jet.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had the opportunity to be on a private jet.
I sat in one.
I've been in small, privately owned aircraft and flown in those before, but I've never been in a private jet, like a G5 or something
like
that.
The luxury of
the real deal. What Tony Stark would fly.
Yeah.
I was actually at an event. It was here at the airport. And they had companies that are private jet services, and they were selling the concept of you and 6 other people get together, and it's cost effective, and blah blah blah, and for business. And these things were just beautiful inside, just wonderful.
Well, you buy like it's almost like you pay monthly. It's like a subscription,
like Netflix.
Well, no, it is because I have a friend that does it, and so they can call at any time. They have to give 24 hours, and they can say, "Here's where we want to go," and it's a little bit. I think it's a little extra or a little more time. It might be like a week or something if they want to go overseas, but they hop on and they can go. They just
get the flight attendant that gives handies. And the whole thing,
and the pilot too.
And it's just them. There's no one else on the jet.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of our listeners at the Camp Out for Hunger. He is a pilot for private jets. Like, I don't think that's the company, private jets, but I was like, and he can't even get his family, like, usually you work
hey,
for
can
an
I
airline?
take the private jet out for the kids? Yeah,
but,
no.
Like, there are no.
Quick question. With that, you have the service. I assume do you have to cover the fuel?
Oh, that's a big part, I would think.
Right?
I think what my understanding is what my friends do is they pay monthly. So whatever their monthly fee is, that's it. They can hop on, and that monthly fee covers their fuel whenever they fly.
I have some family in California, and they have some money, but they're also a relatively big family. And Steve, for them, it's, believe it or not, kind of affordable for them to rent out a private jet instead of paying for individual tickets for everybody on flights coming back east.
Nick, any ideas to what the monthly fee is?
Well, they just charter a private plane.
All right.
So, but it'll be like 3 families of 5.
Oh, I see.
And so if you're putting that many, like plane tickets aren't cheap.
No.
Right. And so I'm sure that overall it ends up being more expensive than having to buy, individual plane tickets. However, they can fly exactly where they want to fly to. If they're going to go to the Jersey Shore or whatever. So it's a perk, and it's an expensive perk. I'm not trying to pretend that it's not, but for them, it ends up being worth it because it gives them a little more control. Also, they can leave when they want. They go to Santa Monica Airport and they get on that plane instead of having to deal with LAX.
If you are listening and you have had an experience in a private jet, we would like to hear from you because we would like to live vicariously through your experiences. 215-263-WMMR.
If you have a private jet and you want to take us up in it,
that'd be nice.
Fine.
We'll do it.
Again, just sitting in this one private jet. The amenities, everything, just the room to breathe, and the fact that you basically can go right on. You're not going through the airport nonsense.
They look with all the filth, all the
filth,
the human filth.
Well, just like our favorite preacher.
Yeah. All right, so question in those. They look small. They look like you can't stand all the way up.
Some are,
okay.
But I mean, not for us, not for preachers. What's his Kenneth
Copeland?
Kenneth Copeland.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah, flying with regular filthy people.
Yeah,
it's just something that would be exciting to do at least once.
Marissa brought me a note and said it's called NetJets.
NetJets?
There's a service called NetJets, and I guess we had a caller that was up that was going to say something, and then they hung up. So we're not.
Son
maybe
of a
we won't
bitch.
find out.
Yeah, there's another one called Blade.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
I did have a friend of mine who is in a different tax bracket than I am.
Yeah.
Suggest a trip that we would take, a golf trip, and part of that would be flying private, and he broke it down for me. And,
when are we leaving?
Yeah, but it was it was going to be a group. It was going to be like 6 people, so we all would put in a certain amount.
No!
And he broke it down, and I don't remember. I remember looking at the price, going, "That's expensive." But it's not outlandish.
So that's the pitch they were making when I went to this exhibition about Nick, to your point, if you're traveling with a lot of people and you break it down, it might be on the edge of a more expensive airline ticket, Preston, but as you said, not outlandish.
Yeah.
There's a site I sent over to you that has private jet rentals for travel.
It is called flyxo.com.
Right.
Okay.
And you can see some of the prices listed for locations.
Well, let's charter one right now. It's got a little thing here.
Where'd you like to go?
All right, we'll start at Philadelphia International. And where do you guys want to go? You want to go to the, Caribbean or something like that?
Let's go to the Super Bowl. Oh, go to the Caribbean. That's fine.
All right, St. John?
Yeah.
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, that's where you're flying to.
St. John don't got an airport.
It says St. Teresa. So
St. Bernard?
They must not fly there.
How about Tampa? Because we're going to
Petersburg. All right, Tampa. We'll do that. Make it easy. Tampa Bay area, Tampa International Airport. All right, round trip, and we'll do a little search-a-rooney on that.
See what comes back.
Now, do we want to go light, mid-size, super mid-size, or heavy?
Let's go
Super mid-size.
Let's rock it.
Let's do mid so we won't go crazy.
So we have headroom.
The turboprop is not available.
No, son of a bitch.
And I mean, that's slumming it in.
Yeah.
All right, so when do we want to go? Let's do something that's
the weekend.
Doable here. We'll start on Friday, March 1st. How about that? Give us a little time in advance.
Right, to pack.
And, now it needs my email and password.
Nah, go to hell. Here,
come
I can
on.
tell you this. Here's a couple things right now. So I don't know where this is from, but it says Salt Lake City, South Florida, from $4,190. It says to Los Angeles, starting from $10,000.
Yeah, here's one that says between South Florida and New York, with prices starting at $14.95.
I mean, just give me the damn price. They do this with hot tubs and swim spas too, and backyard pools. Like
They do it with everything.
Can you just Google how much does this cost, and then Google can you tell me?
By the way,
I know
when I will chart a regular flight on, say, American Airlines, Southwest, whatever it is, and you'll punch in your departing and arriving, return, all that stuff, and then it will give you, as you go to choose your departure, it will say round trip, and then it will give you a number. And okay, so times work out. Yep, that's good. Date works out. Click on that, and then when you go to do the return flight, it's not that round trip figure that they gave you to start with.
I hate that crap.
What is? I don't get it.
Yeah.
You just said round trip. It was going to cost.
Give me a straight answer anymore.
Yeah, but you have to fly those particular flights, so it's like around. But you're gonna have to leave at 3:30 on Tuesday, and then you're gonna come home.
It doesn't make any sense. So anyway,
Here, Las Vegas to Tampa Bay, $4,395. Right.
$95.
How many people?
So not worth it.
Starting at.
How many people fit on that plane, though?
I'm guessing that's for one passenger, though, Nick.
No, I think it's charting the plane.
Really?
I think so. I think you're buying the plane. You're not buying a ticket.
That's true.
Here, I just did Blade for our show to go to spring training from Philadelphia to Tampa.
Now you're talking.
For all of us, six of us to go. It's only $35,000.
That's it.
There you go, Nick.
That's a steal.
Do we get drinks?
So break that down between six people.
Water.
Well, it'd be $6,000 each, roughly.
Yeah.
$6,000.
It's just
$6,000 to fly to Florida.
But guys, it's for work. I think Beasley will pay for
Absolutely. They'll buy it right immediately.
$6,000. But drinks are nice.
What is the besides the comfort in flying a la Tony Stark, that whole thing, and when I was talking earlier about, it's my understanding that first you're off on a secondary area.
You're not waiting for anything.
You're not waiting for anything.
You
You're not
leave
going
when you
through
want.
security. And that is so wonderful.
Yeah, my friend walks right. She has her luggage. She walks right, from wherever they walk
The executive
through.
airport. Yeah.
Yeah, and just walks right onto the, not the runway, but out there and gets right onto the plane.
Now, see that.
And
personally,
actually,
it seems to be worth about a few $100s.
But you know what, Preston? They actually get driven. I correct myself. They get driven so they're not even walking through an executive area. They get driven on.
That's still only a few $100s.
Could you loiter around in the area, and when they start boarding, just like walk in behind them?
Oh, I also had a friend who so she had to work at airports. They were smaller airports around the country, and she was single at the time, and she would wait for the pilots to come in and see if there was anyone that she thought was good looking, and she would chat with them, because she was like,
really?
She's like, I need to hook up with one of these pilots.
with one of these private pilots.
Yeah, who have and I told her, I don't think it's the pilots. I think it's the people coming off the plane you want to talk to.
Here's what we can do. I have a scam. This is what we should do. If we want to travel someplace, go down to the airport and get somebody who looks federal air marshal-y. And we're checking the plane and checking procedure and protocol during flight.
And then get on.
So we'll be going with you on this flight.
Yes, so we'll be going with you.
I forgot what I saw. It was a show that I think it was featuring people who know how to really pinch pennies and save money. And this woman would go to small airports and just say, hey, I need to fly to, I have business in Pittsburgh or wherever it may be, or New York, and I just want to see if anybody happened to be flying up that way, and could I jump on board and go with for a nominal fee? And she would more oftentimes than not
at private airports
be able to get a cheap flight to go somewhere, because a lot of times those guys are flying just to get in
Right.
time
to
in
get
the
in
air.
time.
And so
There's
there's like
They make
found
some
money
money.
to transport somewhere.
There's a Netflix movie, not about somebody who has to go for business, but she has to get on a plane and she asks somebody to fly her.
Tiger King.
And she ends up getting on the plane. They crash. But
That's right. No.
All right, here's some texts coming in, some calls we're going to go to who have flown private. This one says, I can't call in, but I've flown private 3 times with my friends and family. And you can absolutely stand up in them. It's amazing. Usually a buffet of food.
What?
We bring our own drinks. It's a BYO. But
Rip off.
they have full bar also. 5 minutes through private customs when necessary. Really great, it says. Yeah, well, I got pre-check. How about that?
yeah, we don't have to wait in security lines.
Which, by the way, this weekend was awesome.
Oh, you finally got to use it.
I had to go to Florida, and it was just
Air
zip right
Marshal
through.
Elliott.
Don't have to take off your belt, shoes, jacket, none of that stuff. Don't have to. It was wonderful. And that's really cheap. All right, let me go to some calls. I'm going to go to John. Hi, John. Morning, bud.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. What's up, man?
Well, back in 2021, my mom was ill and she wanted to have one big hurrah. So she took the whole family, 13 of us, on a private jet to Turks and Caicos. Which,
John, was she like terminally ill?
yeah,
Or-
she had stage 4 cancer.
Oh,
She didn't
goodness.
She didn't make it. She didn't make it, unfortunately, for the trip. So the family went. We did her ashes at a house called Hawksbill.
Okay.
It's an amazing house. But the plane, just the plane, was $90,000.
90 grand.
And it was snowing and ice, and that was $15,000 to de-ice the plane.
I mean, it rarely snows in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's rare, but it does happen. It does
John,
happen.
so she paid for that, her money.
Yes.
$90,000.
Yeah, the whole trip was about $250,000, but yeah.
Oh my God!
So
Hey,
you-
listen, it's a wonderful gesture.
Oh, it's incredible.
That's fantastic, but that's outlandish.
It is. I always say that is a lot of money to spend on something to get me Turks and Caicos, which I could probably get for, $600.
Yeah. So, John, when you're on this experience, and because it was your mother's wish to make this happen, and because it cost so much, were you hyper aware of like every minute that ticked by, and don't let this get past me on how special and awesome this is?
Yeah, I mean, they had full bar. You walk around, stand up. We had 2 stewardesses. They did have a small, some snacky foods. It wasn't a lunch buffet, but
Yeah.
I mean, when we got to Turks and Caicos, they had 4 Cadillac Escalades pick us up. And,
Dude, that's something amazing. So, if you don't mind me asking, is the family well moneyed? I assume, right?
Well, my parents. My dad passed away a year before that, and that was basically our inheritance. But
okay,
let's blow it all. Why not?
You know what? Why not?
Exactly. Just it was fun. My whole family loved it. We enjoyed the heck out of it.
No, you have
It was
a
7 days.
memory of a lifetime for
It
crying
really
out loud.
was.
Yeah.
Check out Hawksbill on the internet.
I'm looking at it right now, John. It looks incredible.
Where they stayed?
Yeah.
Oh my
LeBron was there the week before us.
Oh my God!
Who was there before?
LeBron.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's like the best that you could
And the
possibly get.
Kardashians were down. They were down like 5 houses during supposedly when we're there, but
That's
I don't know if
crazy.
That's the truth. But it was awesome, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
it
John.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, my buddies, one of his best friends has FU money, as they say, and they rented a whole resort like that with a butler and a staff and private and all that. It's just like, I looked at the pictures, looked really cool. Can I be friends with your friends?
This is one of the things, though, when we, kind of fantasize about what we would do if we win the lottery.
Right.
My first thing would be to do this, to get my whole family on a plane, go somewhere, beautiful, do basically the trip that John just
And
told
you
us
go
about.
somewhere else.
I
You're
send them
I'm
there
putting my
and
whole
say,
family on a plane, and I'm going in the opposite direction.
All right, quick question. If you're going to Turks and Caicos, and you can only get there one of 2 ways. One is a private jet.
All right.
The other is a fighter jet.
I'd do a fighter jet.
Yeah.
I'd do a fighter jet, of course.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, obviously the steward or stewardess would have to sit on my lap, but otherwise,
yeah. Or she could be in the luggage plane.
There you go.
I'm going to go to Ben next. Hi, Ben. Good morning. All right, Ben, you've flown private before?
Yes, 3 occasions. Two of them So I'm friends with a wealthy family, that's all I'm going to say, and they very generously, the parents of one of my classmates flew us 2 years in a row out to Ole Miss for a football game.
Okay.
A whole group of us. And the other time, another same family, different friend, dad is a pilot and has his own plane and flew us to the Bahamas.
That's awesome.
Refuel
So
right on to Abaco.
So when you fly in, I assume most often you fly into private airports, right? I mean, in both cases, did you fly into private airports or did you fly into the mains and then and then drive from there?
Correct. No, pretty small airport, so it gets us really close.
So a quick question, and I think actually not a question, an observation that Ben raises. You don't have to be wealthy yourself. Just make friends with people who are, and hopefully you get this. So this is a friend, and do you keep getting these invites, Ben? Is this something that's ongoing?
I'm still very good friends with them, but I haven't had a chartered plane in a couple of years.
All Ben, what was the best part about it?
I got to say, it was being in college with probably 7 or 8 of our good friends and getting hammered on a plane.
Okay, just getting hammered on a plane. All right.
God almighty.
Appreciate it, man. Must be nice. We'll go to John, who has flown on corporate jets many times. Hi, John. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, guys.
Hey, bud.
First time listener, long time caller.
Long time caller.
Wow, it's almost the reverse.
That's crazy. John, may I ask what you do for a living that gets you on corporate jets?
Fascinating. It's floor covering industry. So you wouldn't think that would be the case, but had the opportunity to work at a company down in Central Texas that had their own jet. And we had a jet at the airport there with a guy named Drake McClain, who was owner of the Astros.
Wow.
So we would share the jets back and forth. I was young at the time, 30. Yeah. We go up to a trade show in Chicago. Yeah. They say, hey, coming back down, going to Texas, you need a ride. I said, yeah, I was supposed to leave tomorrow. Let's go. I'm thinking, this is the best thing in my life. I'm only 30 years old. What am I doing?
Yeah.
We get on the plane. They go, hey, Drayton needs a ride. We have to go by Houston, pick him up. We just go to Houston. This guy gets on. He goes, hey, we're building a park for the baseball team in Houston. Who wants to see it? He's laying out drawings of the new ballpark in Houston as we fly back to our small town in Temple, Texas. I'm thinking, well, this is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, well, damn straight. Yeah. What small percentage of people get an experience like that?
Oh my God, just unbelievable.
So you're saying
now I run my own company. I'd like to say I have a private jet. There's just a lot of them, and they have American Airlines on the side.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys would dig it, though.
Yeah,
that's cool,
man. Sounds good.
Thanks, John. I appreciate it.
Who knew floor covering was such a private jet industry?
If I were to get him one, it would be like you remember the movie Big when Tom Hanks is in the limo for the first time.
Yeah.
You're rolling the windows up and down, and he's playing with all the radio. That's me in the private jet. I'm playing with every little possible thing that there is to do.
You could open the door.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really done anything super luxurious. You know what I mean? Like even now, like the Four Seasons, I can't. You know how much it is to stay there for one night?
Yeah, it's hard to justify that stuff. Even if it's I'm treating myself.
Right.
This is absolutely. I'm going to bask in the greatness and splurge and go for it.
I'm taking care of your toll.
It's hard to do it.
Yeah.
It's hard to justify that.
It is.
And then once you do it, and there have been a couple of times where I'm like, fine, we're going for broke. We're gonna spend on this. It's hard to let that go while you're in the middle of enjoying it and forget that you're paying a lot of money for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, and you wonder. So again, with the case of being the friend of the person who has it or being the person who has it, do you become jaded? You know, to me though, that as he was saying, that you can just go, oh, we got to stop here. Oh, we got to stop here. Okay, you're basically like, oh, drive me here, drive me there. Except you're flying in a top-level aircraft.
Yeah, so you know what Matt Copper does down the shore? He is part of a boat share club.
Right.
So he doesn't own a boat outright, but he pays this fee, and he can just go hop on a boat whenever he wants.
What kind of boat? Like a cabin cruiser, or
They have a variety of them.
Okay.
It depends on what level you join in. I looked at it because I don't want to own a boat because having a boat comes with a lot of expenses. They say the two best days of a boat owner's life is the day they buy the boat and the day they sell the boat. And so this allows you to skip out on that, and essentially it's like owning a timeshare.
Right. It's like a prostitute.
Yeah, it's like a prostitute. Yeah. Let me get. What's that?
You don't kiss the boat. You don't.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Let me go to Kelly, because Kelly's flown private a few times. We got on this whole conversation because Taylor Swift, in order to make it from Tokyo to the Super Bowl, and I know how important that is to you, she has to take her private airplane, one of her two private jets.
What kind does she have? Do we have any specification?
Something Falcon.
It is a Dassault Falcon 7X, which has a slightly longer range than her Dassault Falcon 900. So Kelly's on the line. Hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Kelly. So what puts you in a private jet?
So I worked for a company that had a few of them, and I used to fly private every week for years. And as you were saying, like my first time on, I was like a kid in the candy store. I'm like, this is so cool. I can't believe this. But then you kind of get used to it, and then you leave that company, and then you start flying commercially again, and it's horrible.
That's something else to consider.
Yeah.
Is it better not knowing? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
what is this? Who are these people?
Kelly, how many people were usually on the type of aircraft that you were on?
It would be 2 to maybe 8.
Okay.
All right, 2 to maybe 8, and there was some sort of a flight attendant there for you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, of course. Flight attendants, these lovely, lavish meals.
Did you get to know the staff fairly well since you were going
Absolutely.
weekly?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yep. It was great. You drive into Atlantic Aviation, you like pass all the terminals in Philly. You pull your car in, you take your suitcase, you hop on the flight. Like, you get there 5 minutes before you take off. It's amazing.
Oh, my God. It sounds so awesome. And so much of this is predicated on the nightmare of just being processed through an airport these days and the crap shoot.
Kelly, would they ever let you up in the cockpit or anything like that?
No, I really didn't even think about the cockpit.
Yeah. You were too busy having fun back in the cabin.
Yeah, not with the riffraff driving this thing.
They're filthy people.
How smooth of a ride is it, Kel?
It's great because when you're in a Gulf Stream, apparently, now I'm not technical, but you can go higher. So, I mean, I don't ever recall a bad flight, ever.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Good on you.
Eating my cold lobster and my shrimp.
Kelly, how long has it been since you've been in one?
Oh, it's been like 15 years, sadly. But we also had helicopters, so we would helicopter to New York to Connecticut. It was amazing.
What company was this?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
What type of business? What was
Sex
the business?
toys.
It was a local healthcare company in Bluebell. That's all.
Okay.
U.S. Healthcare. Uh-huh.
I can say it.
All right. I love it. Yeah, that was right around the corner from where I used to. Did you fly with Len, by the way?
No.
Okay. He was,
Never. No
I knew
one-
where he lived.
Okay.
He was the owner.
All right.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate it.
All right, have a great day. Bye.
Oh, man, what was I going to say?
While you think of that, I'm getting messages from a friend of mine from high school, guys.
Does he have a private jet?
No, he flies in one.
Does he want to take us somewhere?
He flies in one all the time.
Good enough.
Does he want us to go on a trip with him?
I remember what I was going to say. Do you guys remember those of you who watched Succession? Remember they would refer to them as the PJs.
Uh-huh.
I don't
Private jets?
remember that.
The private jets.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. We can't get rid of the PJs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you get used to that level of luxury. Here's sort of an addendum to the question. How much is it to rent a helicopter to fly to, like, New York? You know, if you want to go to...
So those
Really
that's actually
expensive.
Is it?
but not this expensive.
It's not like taking a tour, though. It's not like taking an hour-long tour. It's,
Right.
No.
it's a different story.
We did a stunt one time, and I don't remember, Casey, if you were with me, but we took Virgin coaster people, had never been on a roller coaster, and we flew from right down the street in a helicopter. It was for the show, up to Great Adventure. And helicopters have to fly at different levels or whatever than planes do, but it was unbelievably awesome. And you're there in half an hour. If
It's a mind blower.
It's insane. At one time, I got to fly also for the radio station. Got to fly in a helicopter from Northeast Philly Airport down to the sports complex. You're there in 10 minutes.
What kind of copter were you in?
It was it's a
Chinook?
no, an Italian company that starts with A, like Aviano.
Apache.
Was it?
It was an Apache helicopter?
No, that's military.
That's yeah. We didn't have any weapons.
That's no fun.
We flew in a Huey.
Yeah.
Nick, that was from where to where?
Northeast Philly to the Northeast Airport to the sports complex.
Wow.
Yeah, this is Nick McElwain. Target acquired.
I wonder how long like a flight to Atlantic City would be,
All right,
like
here.
30 minutes or something like
The
that.
name of that company is Augusta.
Augusta.
Yeah.
Here comes Nick. What you got, Kath?
Okay, so I'm looking. I went back to Blade. The most popular. This is for a helicopter ride, Nick, from Newark into Manhattan, and it looks like they have different packages, but it looks like $245, which
That's just to go across the water.
that seems really cheap.
That's literally just to go across the water to the other side.
So like this isn't. I guess this isn't like a tour.
Philly
of
to
anything.
Atlantic City. That's a common run. Philly to Atlantic City.
But Newark to Manhattan.
You're going across the river.
That's just that's right across
That's
the
right.
$245.
It's nothing.
They probably just put the helicopter on a raft and put
All right, here we go. I did out to the Hamptons. If you wanted to go out to the Hamptons.
From New York?
From New York,
Okay.
yes. It's just easier because you can click it quick here. And that's about $1,000 a seat.
A seat.
Yeah.
Do you need a seat?
I'll sit in traffic.
What if you just hunch over?
We need to hang up from the skids.
Yeah, the straps.
Nick, if you sit in traffic out to the Hamptons, you may actually pay $1,000 a seat.
Right. All right, anyhow. But listen, those of you who are on hold, I apologize. We don't have time to go to. I would like to apologize to our people on hold and the Skull Sealer that we didn't
I'd like to apologize.
didn't get a chance to go to you, but I appreciate you hanging on because we've got to go live on Fox Good Day.
Yes, and if you're offering us free air travel in your private jet, just email us.
Well, we'll give you a free 15 minutes on the air if you'll do that. And
nothing wrong with that.
Call it even.
That's not illegal.
No. All right. So, but we do need to take a break. But anyhow, Taylor's got 2 private jets. She should be okay. She should make it from Tokyo all the way to Las Vegas in time for the game. We'll come back with the B file and we'll go live on Fox Good Day. Stay with us.
Or online terms apply. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
10 seconds remaining, Kat. You did it. All right, so we'll hear music in a moment from Fox Good Day, and then we will do our little television time. I think we all look fabulous today, by the way. So
never look better.
This is going to be great. Here we go.
Okay, Preston and Steve, I have a question for all of you over there at MMR. When do you are you good at throwing things out that you don't use or it's outdated? I'll give you one example from this lifestyle expert.
Okay.
She says, we're talking about underwear. When it loses its elasticity, throw it out.
Yep.
Steve, let's start with you.
So,
do you keep things past the expiration date?
I do.
No, you should throw it out.
Some things, yeah. So I'll have underwear for a couple of years and then I'll wash it. And no. Listen, I know my inner demons. So Preston and I were just talking about this. Like we in our sock drawer. If you were to go to our sock drawers, we have the exact same sock so that they don't get unpaired and all that stuff.
About
so
like 50 pairs of the
streamline,
same
like
sock.
right. The Albert Einstein have the clothes the same way. But yes, after a while, for example, I do a lot of hiking and I cycle through the shoes. I give the ones to Goodwill and I keep processing because. My father used to wear things to literal threads, and I said, "That's probably not going to be for me." Yeah, absolutely.
I'll keep underwear till holes form in them, and then I'll throw them away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
Kathy's
really?
faces. Yeah,
I will
yeah. Why not?
The second it gets a hole, you throw it out.
Not the second. The hole's got to be large enough. Like little holes, I'll hang on to. But
I probably have a few holes in my stuff right now.
But if the elasticity wears,
Yes.
I'll toss it. And I'm pretty good at getting rid of stuff. I do hang on to T-shirts for a long time. Ones that have some type of a sentimental value to them. Whatever.
Sure.
You know,
I still have my first chastity belt. Yeah,
you do.
I held on to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? It's a lovely time of your life.
Steve, do you own long pants?
Yeah, I've been wearing them today.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, what?
His
I'm
jeans
wearing
on today.
jeans.
Yep, he's actually. wearing jeans.
Yeah.
That's
And I do,
rare.
and I became Mr. Winter Shorts Man, and I do admit I used to despise those people, but now I've become one of them, and I'm just looking for the right cave to live in, and then I'll be set. So I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I think this, but it seems like Casey would keep stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are we talking about strictly clothes here? Because I've had a weight issue thing, and I might lose weight or gain weight, and I've done that, and I've yo-yoed so many times, so I don't like to throw things away because who knows? What didn't fit me today might fit me in 5 years.
Do you keep heavy backup stuff? Do you, just in case?
I do.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, the last time I took a bunch of weight off, I was like, oh, I could get my skinny shirts. And I went to another closet and I had a trash bag full of
Dude, you have to.
Yeah.
And then it's like
They'd come back in style.
Psychologically, people will say, I'm going to get rid of these so I don't have incentive ever. And then they go to Goodwill and buy them back or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Casey, you're really kicking butt right now. You're looking good.
Thank you. I was working out with Jason Martinez yesterday.
Oh, no
Actually,
wonder,
he was
huh?
working out in the same place. We weren't working out together, but either way, he's a handsome man.
He's sexy.
He had his people.
Oh my gosh, both of you have a man crush.
He's so tall too. I was like, wow, I didn't realize
Oh,
you
my
were this
God.
big, mister.
You're a regular mountain.
He is a mountain of a man and a good kisser. We'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye, guys. We'll see you later. All right. I have some Bizarre File stories, so we may as well go ahead and dive into those.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we're going to dive right into this. At first, it sounds like a typical case of bad behavior aboard an airplane, but the Mexico City International Airport acknowledged in a statement Friday that a man had opened an emergency exit and walked out onto the wing of a plane that was parked and waiting to take off on Thursday. The airport said the man had been turned over to police, but dozens of fellow passengers signed a written copy of a statement saying that the airline made them wait for 4 hours without ventilation or water while the flight was delayed. And fellow passengers said that this guy acted to, quote, protect everyone with the support of everyone. At least 77 passengers aboard the Aeromexico flight to Guatemala signed a statement handwritten on a notebook paper supporting the man's actions. They said the delay and lack of air created conditions that endangered the health of the passengers. He saved our lives.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, so he had just had it.
I'm done.
He's like, I'm done. And he opened it up.
Hanging out on the wing.
So 4 hours. And if you've ever been in a plane where the ventilation is not working
You
at
wanna
some
die.
point in time, it gets really stifling very, very quickly. So they've been in that for 4 hours.
I always wanted to walk out on the wing anyway, so maybe I'll use that as an excuse the next time.
Airport authorities did not identify the man, and they declined to comment on whether he remains in custody or faces charges. A doorbell camera, appeared to catch a chain pizza delivery driver stealing a package after delivering a pizza in the area.
That bastard.
Anthony Torres said that at first, he believed the alleged porch pirate was posing as a delivery driver until his neighbor confirmed that they had a pizza delivered around the same time of the theft. Neighbors also spotted a delivery car parked outside, and it wasn't until the next day that he saw the video showing exactly what happened. In a 7-minute video, you can see what appears to be a pizza delivery driver walking around apartments in the area.